we're going to find out for real how good or how bad this camera is this Sunday. And we're going to use the DJI 7P, this handy little gimbal for cell phones. Is amazing. I haven't got to really use it yet. It works off the 7P has this little module, and it's magnetized. It's got a little release, but I wanted to give that to you.
So this, oh yeah, because what you can see here is this has a little light and a camera.
That's right.
A little mini camera, so that when you do like face track.
Yeah,
or object tracking.
Yes.
This will be...
You want to know something else that's even more amazing that little module can do? So this thing has legs. So
it has built-in tripod.
Yeah, which I wish they would have put that on the Osmo.
Yep.
Right? Because I certainly could... That's nothing. That's easy to do.
That's the way that's designed and working... That just floored. I mean, when you showed this to me the other day, that blew my mind. It has that built in and that little mini camera just to make it work.
That snaps right in there. You can rotate this, so if you're going to shoot vertical or horizontal, or however, if you want, you can just take this off, flip it if you want to have it track yourself. Then look at that.
A built-in freaking selfie stick.
So a selfie stick, but also... you can, if you're going to shoot that way, you could just raise it up. You get a little more height out of your little tripod. But what's crazy about this module up here is something that I would have never thought of. Now, DJI figured this out because, like you said, it has this little camera. So you can go and say you're doing yourself. It will use sign language.
To do certain functions?
Yes. So if I don't have it down yet, but for example, if I go like this, that either means roll. I don't say anything, and then there's another sign language to stop, so that you can get yourself all set up, and you don't have to walk over to it
and hit
record or have to touch your phone or touch an app. It'll also there is a tracking feature that with sign language, I believe. So if you want it to track you. And I've seen a test where they tried to trick it. So you send it the signal to track and then roll, and then try to run somebody in the foreground. It'll stick with you. It won't shift focus.
See, I saw that in the similar function from DJI with one of their latest drones. I saw the same thing to where it was managing to walking behind trees.
Yes,
leaves.
That's it.
It still tracked the same object.
I wonder if it's using some kind of technology like this module then on the drone.
It's AI in the software based on what the camera's seeing.
Well, then I think that's what's interpreting these hand signals then would be the AI. It's got some intelligence.
Yep, it's got intelligence where in the frame, if it can recognize a body, it can recognize the hand gestures, and then those will tell it what to do.
Now, a couple other interesting features that I found, what I like a lot here, it has this little dial on the side.
And you can program it to do different things, right?
Well, I don't know that for sure, but it operates as a zoom. I'm going to give an update. So I started making this video during our podcast about the DJI 7P gimbal. I shot for probably 6 hours, kind of documentary style, at a massive event. First time using it. So I wanted to give my full opinion on it now. So I used my iPhone 17 Pro Max. The little features I had talked about was the external tracking system here, this little module. And then I wanted to know how well this thing was going to work out for me. I took a couple different cameras just in case. So the 17 Pro Max is, just as heavy as the other 16, but I started out with an extra hard drive on it and my mic module, Type-C. I was using Hollylanders on this one. So this thing got pretty long and a little bit unbalanced. The thing is, when you use this mount on the phone, which you have to in order to make it work with the gimbal, it goes right almost in the middle of your phone, so you lose your magnet, right? So with your mounting bracket, you no longer have access to the magnet on the phone. So keep that in mind. So my hard drive was magnetized, but I couldn't use it in magnetized position. So the phone was so long that if I was shooting vertical, it was hitting here on the gimbal. And I shot 16 by 9 anyway, so once I got it in 16 by 9 mode, no problem with the length of the phone. It was incredibly heavy, and it took a little bit to get this thing balanced. Now the software can tell you if your phone's unbalanced. So a couple things about the different apps. That's where I wanted to go over. So the features on this 7P, the thing I was interested the most in was this little dial for zooming. And now I do know that the iPhone it's an 8x zoom. And I started out using the Blackmagic app on the phone. And I had it all set up, record to the hard drive, 4K, ProRes, 422, HQ probably, I can't remember. And the thing is, unfortunately, a lot of the features on the 7P won't work if you're using the Blackmagic app. So that communication, there's no such thing as using the dial here for a zoom or for focus. And a couple other features, I can't remember exactly what they were, but there's a couple other little perks that you get. So I stopped with the Blackmagic Pro app, and then I went straight to DJI's app, and that is the, the Mimo. So DJI Mimo app, I went there, and then suddenly everything works, okay? And the feature, it just became fantastic, because walking around at this place and being able to use the zoom on the iPhone 17 Pro Max, whoa, it's a game changer. It worked flawlessly. I could just dial this thing back, and the software would tell me wide, and it would go 1x, 2x, 3x, up to 8x. And if you tap and push it in, you now have focus control over. If you're not on auto, you have complete focus control over your shot. I love that. And then the gimbal settings, there's 4 of them through the M button here. So I played around with the different settings. I did find that if you're doing a lot of fast, so I was tracking a horse, and it's coming at me, and I've got the phone zoomed in at 8x. I wanted to see if I could hold steadiness with it to see if it was going to shake. And it does stabilize. I need to turn it on so it's not bouncing around all over the place. Turning this thing off and on, piece of cake. I like that. But the thing, though, is when you want to say a horse is coming at you and then he makes a turn, it's a little unstable, the fact that you're trying to pan with it. It gets a little wonky. You can't do like quick pans. So you can do, meaning with your hand and using the gimbal to kind of track with it. You can do it with the joystick, but even that, it's not that fast, okay? So your left and right pans are kind of slow. I don't know if there's going to be a speed adjustment for that. But overall, my experience, battery life was great. I did not use this to charge my phone. The iPhone 17 Pro Max, I'm telling you, the brightness was fantastic. I was in pure sun in my eyes. It was super bright out. I never had a problem seeing this screen. And then I started to get worried about battery life on both of them. Well, the gimbal all day, no problem on the battery. It never went down on me like where I was getting worried. The iPhone all day, bright screen, recording 4K, no problem. And then I did a couple things, which this is why I like this magnetized. Let me turn it off. I like being able to take this off the gimbal really quick because I like to do some handheld stuff. And it allowed me just to pop it off and then go like this and shoot some things quicker because, look, I can pan much quicker or track using my own hands as opposed to trying to use the gimbal. But for all my walking, running, super 8x shots, I kept it on the gimbal, and that stuff came in flawless as far as steadiness. The other downside that I found that when you're using the Mimo app, you do not get cinematic mode. You can't use cinematic mode. And that was another reason why I would pop this off and go handheld, and I wanted to just go cinematic for some things because there's so many layers of depth of what I was shooting. So it's a combination. So having the fact that it's magnetic, the phone can come off really quick. You can do stuff like this. You can snap it back on. This came in handy. I almost used it all the time, pulling up the arm. The other thing that I didn't catch when I first got it is that this pivots right here. So that became like really cool because I would set it and say I started doing some overhead shots pointing down. Other times I was leaving it extended. I found I had more control with it extended. My shots were a little more creative. So that feature I just loved. Overall, I'm telling you, for the money, and if you master this thing, a little more practice. I mean, that was my first shoot, 6 hours straight. Forearm hurts a little bit there. But it's well worth it. I can't say that it's not worth it. In conjunction with the app, it's great. If you want to go Blackmagic Pro, you're not going to get some of these features off this thing. So is it worth it? I don't know. But then the other thing that I was pleasantly surprised, I didn't think there was a lot of oomph in the iPhone 17 Pro compared to my old phone. I was wrong. I was pointing directly into the sun. The flares, and I got a polarizer for it. Unfortunately, it didn't show up in time, so I didn't get to play with the polarizer. I had to shoot all without it. I highly recommend getting a polarizer for this thing, an adjustable one. But regardless, pointing directly into the sun with the iPhone 17 Pro Max here, I didn't get that weird hazing. I got some beautiful shots, and the color on this phone is way, way better than the previous models. You can make beautiful shots even if you don't shoot RAW. You got plenty of detail in the blacks, able to shoot up into the sky, able to create a blue sky, even without a polarizer. I was pleasantly surprised how I could just point up. I did some tilt downs from the sun through trees down to the subject, and I've never had an iPhone be able to accomplish that without kind of looking bad, meaning flares, haze, that kind of stuff. So great combination. If you're on the fence about an iPhone 17 Pro and you want to shoot any kind of video, the upgrade is worth it, in my opinion. Getting this DJI 7P, worth it, in my opinion. And its firmware upgrade was a piece of cake. You just put your phone on, hook the Bluetooth. It'll firmware upgrade. It also upgrades this little mount, this module, too. So you got to upgrade both of them, but it'll do it all for you. And then the button here in the front, once I started learning how to hold that to lock, you can hold this and lock kind of everything. Keep it that way. It's a little slow on sometimes reverse camera. It doesn't catch it at first. It's tap, tap, tap. Sometimes you're tapping. Next thing you know, you're either shutting it off, you moved your gimbal, or you got it all wrong. But you can always go back, click this front button, resets the camera back to original position really quick. That worked every single time, and then I got to start over. So I'm going to throw on some of the footage I shot. I wanted to break into my original video because I hadn't used it yet. But there's my opinion. DJI 7P gimbal, well worth the money. And I'm telling you, iPhone 17 Pro Max, it is, to me, by far the best camera of all the iPhones. So there you have it. Links below.